Hi everyone, it's Helen here and thank you very much for joining us for today's autumn Halloween vlog hop. So I'm so excited about this one. This is the project that we are going to be making today using the mini doctor's handbag. So let's jump straight in. Right, so let's have a quick look at the project and then a quick look at the die set and the cutting guide. So this is the project for today. It is an Apothecary doctor's bag, sort of like a medieval sort of style, and inside it holds some test tubes and the little vials and things like this. So if you want to put sweets in them, or if you want to just have a place to store all your gems and stones and things, these are from my daughter's collection. She collects these lovely little things here and these lovely little rocks and gems and cut stones, so this would be the perfect place to keep those items. So let's have a quick look inside. Opens up just like that, and there is a little bit of extra things that we do to this bag to make it work like this, so I'll be showing you step by step today on how to do that. So this just opens up, you can get a little sneak peek of what's in there. So this just opens up like that as well. Look at this, I love that. And then inside I have the little book that Victoria from the design team made, and there is a tutorial for this on her channel, which is Crafty Heaven. That fits in there perfectly, and that's using the spell book die set. And inside we have a place for all of our little glass jars, our little vials and test tubes. You can fill these with tiny little sweets if you want to. Sherbet powder is going to be perfect for this as well. And I've done the elastic in there and some little straws there for supporting, and at the bottom here it fits these little plastic test tubes in as well, so you can get jelly beans in there as well as sherbet powder. And again, there is room in there if you don't want to have all these at the bottom there, just to pop a few treats in as well. So these that just pops in there on the top, and we have some little vials here on the front flaps as well. Can't get the words today. So everything that I've used today is listed down below, including all of these test tubes and glass jars and things like that. So let's jump straight in to showing you my little cutting guide on how to make this bag. Okay, so as this is a blog hop, there are plenty of other videos taking part in today's Halloween autumn theme, so those videos are going to be listed down below, all in the order. You can just skip and hop along, and I'll make sure that at the end as well I'll have the next video link, so you can just quickly move on. And everything that I've used today will also be listed down below. And this bag here, this has 20% off, I believe. Double check everything when you click on it. I've been told it's 20%, so I'm going with that. So this is the mini doctor's bag die set. I love this one. Now some of you may have the larger one. This is the miniature one. This is the baby sister of that big one. So if you have the larger doctor bag, you can still make this project. You'll just have to adjust the sizes. Okay, so let's go through the cutting guide. So you need to die cut 3 of these and 2 of these, and I've chosen a black shimmery cardstock. I'm hoping it's in stock. If not, have a look and see what they have. And then we have all of this selection here that we'll be getting to in a moment. So we're going to start off with 2 pieces of this and 3 pieces of that, and we'll set one of those aside. I'll also be delving into these 2 die sets. These are not included in the special offers today because they are relatively new still, and they've just had a relaunch as well. So this is the stamp and die set, and I'm going to be making a different version on the front here, possibly with these hinges here instead of these straps. So you get these straps as part of the doctor's bag, but I'll be switching that out and making a slightly different version today. Okay, so here is the cardstock I'm using. It is Graphite from the Foundations Pearl card range, and here are all my bits. Look at all this. We're going to be making a beautiful version of that bag. Okay, so we have our 3 pieces here and our 2 side pieces. All of this is going to make the outside of our bag. So let's start off with putting one of those pieces aside. We're just going to work with these 3 at the moment. So start by folding down all of the score lines. Use a bone folder. Okay, so we have these two score lines here at the top and the bottom, the larger section and the smaller section. The smaller section is where we're going to be joining this together, so we don't need to score those. So we just need to fold down these top larger sections here. Okay, so let's join these two together just by overlapping these slim triangles. Triangles? Oh dear. I'm currently working on a triangular project at the moment, so I have triangles on my brain. Right, my glue has dried up. Right, so those overlap. Press that down, and now these are added either side of the project here. So kind of get the middle here. So get your first one down. If you want, you can get your ruler out and measure out perfectly the middle. But I'm just going to get my ruler out just to help me guide the next one on. Not pressing that down yet, I'm going to grab my ruler and just line it up with this one here, and then I know I can just bring this one down and push that in a bit. There we go, they are both pretty much in alignment. Okay, paper trimmer time. We're going to trim off the front of the bag, so bring this in. We are going to trim 3 3/4 of an inch. So if we come in this side, we use the left hand side here of the bag, and we're going to lose that completely. Keep this piece. Now when we pull that aside there and work our way around, you'll see we have a good gap here at the front of our bag, but it'll all come together as we pop this together. So grab some red tape. This is going to be really useful for popping this bag together. So on this side, where we have the long side here, we need the tape on the full length, and then on here just at the bottom half, because we have the shorter end. Okay, a good tip here is to push down your tape. It gets rid of all of the air bubbles and just gives you a great, it just pushes the adhesive right into the surface, and it also makes it super easy to remove your backing. And I'll also be using some glue with this as well. Just to make things super easy, I'm just going to grab a tape runner. Now, tape runners are not very good for your 3D projects, but for this particular thing we're doing here, it's just going to give us that little bit of a hold while we curve these tabs around the corner. And then take your glue, add your glue here as well, and we'll start off with this one first. And I have here more glue. It's fine to add a little bit of extra glue on top of your tape. And using the surface as a flat guide, it's really handy for lining everything up. And then press down. There we go. I have my glue in the corner now on those little tabs there, holding those in place, and that is our first corner done. So do the same for the rest. Okay, so I've just done the front now, and as you can see, it kind of wants to twist and do funny things because the way it's constructed and the way the tension is in that. So I do have another piece here of, here it is. So we have here some chipboard. Whee, things are falling down. And that measures 5.5 by 3.5, and I will do my best to get any extra measurements popped into the description box as well. This is what we're going to just be popping inside there, just to give that a bit of sturdity. But before we do that, I want to add some feet. As you can see, this is going to make a bit of a noise here, but we have here some feet at the bottom of our bag. So adding real metal hardware really does bring your paper projects to life. So let's grab 4 of these. I just got these from Amazon or eBay. Have a look around and see what they have. This is like an antique gold brass shade. These are quite diddy, but they can come in different colours and sizes. I have some larger silver ones here. So adding these little touches, I mean, even adding little feet to your boxes just gives it that extra loveliness, I think. I can't think of the word, but it just really does make your projects stand out and look real. Okay, so I'm looking for my pokey tool. Where's it gone? Poke in your 4 holes. You can use a ruler and measure out, but I'm just going to eyeball it. And then these are little brads, so sometimes they do like to get stuck together, so do make sure that you can separate them once you've poked them through. So I like to start them off slightly before I put them through. The hole is pretty small there, but these will stretch the hole. There we go. You can use your pokey tool just to separate those. This little trick here just makes it so much easier once you're trying to splay out the arms, once we're on the other side. But just look at that. Okay, so once you're on the other side there, get your hands in and just move those. They're basically just brads, so you can just split pin them outwards. Okay, so there we have all of our split pins all done and in place. Here are the bag feet, and again, these are real bag feet that you would put into real bags. I used to make handbags and sew them and just have loads of fun with that, so I did have a few things in my stash coming up, like magnets and things. I'm going to give a real magnet clasp a go, so wish me luck. Okay, so we have here our board. Let's add a bit of tape just to the center, and then we will add some glue. Oh, I need to get myself a new roll. Okay, so let's glue this down. And as I add the tape there first in the center, that's just going to keep it in place, because it is going to be lifting up slightly because of the brads on the other side here. There we go. Right, so now we have our support. It's not wanting to do that funny warp thing. Right, so we have here our flaps, so let's trim those just so that they actually work, and you can taper those as well if you want to. Do the same on the other side. There we go. And then we have 2 pieces here. Let's see, I've got so much stuff here. There we go, these two pieces here. These measure 2 7/8 by 2 1/2, so those are exactly the same size. These will be glued on like so to make our two flaps. Let's glue those on. Now this size will vary depending on how you've popped this together from the main construction. So what I found is mine does vary slightly. So this is a slightly different measurement, but if you do get that, you can just trim that down. Just like so. There we go. And if you do that, you'll have to adjust your mats as well for your measurements. I will leave the dimensions for the mats and for these pieces down below, but you may find that each bag that you make will be unique, and you can just adjust those to the actual bag. As you can see, this one fits really nicely, so this one is okay. Okay, there we have our bag now. We have this gap here in the center, but we are going to cover that up. I have here, using the stamp sets, here we go. It'll be easier if I open this up. You get the dies to cut the stamps out as well, and I have used the poison label and cut that out, one from the white that's stamped on and another one from the black on the other side. Okay, so let's carry on with our distressing. I did get carried away whilst I was distressing that, and I'm going to be using Vintage Photo. Now this is the actual distress ink, it's not the oxide, but there is a Vintage Photo distress oxide as well, and it works perfectly for this too. There we go. Glue these together, back to back. And if you do get any harsh white edges, you can just grab a black one. I do have the distress oxide in black soot, and if you have any little white edges, you can just go around and do this just to get rid of any white bits. There we go. Now this can be glued onto the front now, just like that. So I'm just going to add glue just to one side, and on the other side we're going to have some Velcro. There we go. Oh, actually you do need to mat this first. Whoopsies. Let's go for the spider web. I don't want this video to be too long, so I am just trying to get to the next stage and just give you the basic instructions so you know exactly how to make this. Okay, and then that will go onto that side. I think I need to trim down the mat for this one. I do. That was the one I trimmed down. Let's take that 1/8 of an inch off that. There we go, and then that will go on like that. And I have here some Velcro tabs. I love these. I need to find out if they do these in black. I like to stick with the Velcro brand because I trust it the most. They do really good because it's Velcro. It's the original. We call everything Velcro if it's hook and eye. But I would love to find out if they do these in a black. because I'm doing a very dark project here, and these do stick out slightly when you take these off. You see the white there. So let's pop this together. There we go, and there. Give that a good press. Separate those, and then give them another really good press both sides. And what you can actually do is you can take your ink and you can actually kind of bring that whiteness back a little bit by adding the black ink to that. And then we do have this funny warping bit here as well. Don't like that. So we have another support panel here. This measures 5.5 by 1, and we're going to glue that to the inside there just to support that gaping bit. There we go. So all we have to do now is add our front flap. So remember that piece that I told you not to lose, that I've lost? Here it is. So we're going to glue these two back to back using these flaps here. Just a quick dry run. Glue those together. Okay, so we should have something that now looks like this, and then we'll just need that glue just to dry ever so slightly. So let's prepare our next piece. So grab the extra bag side that we cut out, and then we're going to trim that down now as well. Okay, so we're going to have a little skinny strip there, and we're going to cut this at 4 3/4. And then we're going to glue this right up to that seam here with our decorative score line there at the bottom. So glue the whole panel on. And then give that time to dry. Whilst that is drying, I'm going to quickly show you how I have created the mats for the inside. As you can see here, we have the mats there that I've shaped and cut out. So basically I have taken that main die that does the side. As you can see, all you have to do is just fold all your score line so you can actually see it properly, and it's easier to do it on the back side rather than the front because it's going to be patterned and it's going to be really hard to see where to cut. And I'm basically going to cut everything out as it is. There we go, and then I'm going to remove, you can use a paper trimmer if you want, just to slither around all of the sides. There we go. Now that should fit perfectly now on the inside of our bag. So do the same for all of them, and we have these little triangles as well, so don't forget about those. So if you're going to be really clever, you don't even have to cut on the score line, you can just cut inside the score line. Give that a trim there. Okay, so I've got my side pieces popped on there, And then I've die cut another bag front just from the digital Halloween, Happy Halloween papers. That's what I'm using here. Sorry, Happy Haunting papers. And I'm just going to glue that up the top there. But I do have this score line here for that section. So I'm just going to trim that off. I'm going to keep that because I'm going to glue that onto the little flap. And then I need to cut off again on the other side. Actually, I think we'll be alright for that. It'll just give us extra space at the bottom. You're not going to see that score line. So we're just going to pop that in there. That's slightly too big. So we're just going to use a paper trimmer or our scissors just to trim about 1/8 of an inch off either side. Don't worry about the length because it scoots down at the bottom. There we go. Do a little dry run. That fits in much better, and then we can pop that in now. Keep this aside, don't lose that piece. Okay, there we go. That is what it should look like now, and we just need to cut out a piece here to match. I think I'll go for the houndstooth again if I have enough. So I'm going to chop that at 5 5/8 by 4 5/8. Okay, so just gluing that mat on as well helps to lay that down flat. And if you want to add any sort of distress or anything like that, you can do it. Obviously it would be better if you did it before gluing down your mats, but again you can even go around afterwards adding a bit of distress there. Again, I'm using the black soot here. Gosh, you can tell it's a really good craft project when you know you've just made a massive mess. It's going to be a bit of a clean up, but I like those sorts of clean ups because I know I've had a lot of fun creating. Right, so we are now at a really good stage now. So we have here our lid. This kind of needs to curve around now, so just do your best just to do this, lifting it up slightly and getting that curve popped in, just like so. There we go. Right, let's close all of this up because we're going to now work on our closure. There we go. So this should more or less, this flap here in the center should more or less be in the center. That's what we're aiming for. And we are going to add some more Velcro. Okay, so let's use our Velcro. I have my one piece here, and if you've been following me a while, you know I love to chop up my bits of Velcro because they are rather large pieces. There's nothing wrong with that either. You can just trim them up and then keep your spare bits aside. Make them as small as you want. And I'm going to pop them on here. That's my second box for 100. I've used these for quite a number of years now, so that's actually my second box, to give them a good press. And then you can go in again just with a bit of black. Here we go, black oxide, black soot. Let's disguise those a little better. Again, I'm on the hunt now for black ones. I've already discovered that Creative Craft products have black foam adhesive pads. These are excellent for your Halloween projects. There we go. Right, so we're now ready to decorate the outside, which I'll be showing you. You can just have fun with that, and I will show you the finished bit afterwards. But the most important thing that I need to show you now is adding our elastic for our little jars here. So I have them sitting on straws. That just supports them, and then the elastic holds them in place. So I have here some thick elastic. I think this is 2mm thick elastic. I bought this for when I was doing the traveller's notebooks, but discovered it was too thin and I needed to get my hands on 1mm elastic. So I used that for my traveller's notebooks. And then this has just gone into my stash and I've just pulled it out now to do this. So grab yourself some straws. I have here probably about 5 years worth of Halloween straws. I'm pretty pleased about that. These are going to be very useful, even for like people that want to have their drinks on Halloween. I'm still not going to run out. Plenty of crafting projects to come your way. Okay, so I've used most of my jars already, so let's pop all these out and we'll do the bottom line for you first. Okay, so get yourself a rough measurement. There we go. Words are not my friend today. Words have to be so hard. There we go. That's a good measurement. So get your glue gun on the ready. Then we're going to take our elastic and we're going to cut that as well. That is just a little dry run there on what we're going to be doing. Now you can repeat the same on the lid here. Now do bear in mind that when you close this up, you can see here it all folds in and you lose a lot of space, so you have to be quite strategic where you put these, so you can't get a full line across the top, or 2 here. So I've popped 2 on the inside there, 2 at the top, and then that closes just fine. Okay, so I've got my first little bit in there, so let's just do the second one now. So grab yourself another straw, and I've cut that down to the size of those 2 vials, and I'm going to add my glue just across there, carefully trying not to burn myself. I'm just going to pop that there and then do a quick test to make sure that they fit. So I've only got space here for 2 little jars. And then I'm just going to cut me, that might be too long, I'll shorten that bit. There we go. And just add a bit of glue. We're going to do one end at a time, so add your glue on one side, pop that in and then wait for that to set, and then we'll work on the other side. Next one now. So I'm going to be using this more as a trunk. So this is more of a bag because I have the handle on there, but this is reminding me now more of a kind of like a trunk thing, that the cantilever box that opens up. So again, I've used the hinge element here from the Spellbook Elements die set. Done 2 of those, and this is reminding me more of a chest. So this is going to be my little cantilever style chest box. I'm just going to add some more metal hardware on there for the handle, so let's get that glued on. Again, all of these can be found on Amazon. If you look at furniture hardware, miniature furniture hardware, you can find all sorts. There we go, there is our metal handle, it's got its feet there. So let's open this up again and then pop in our jars. Oh, it's still setting. Give that a bit longer. I used a whole ton of glue on there, so we're going to give that a little bit of time now just to set. Okay, you're on the home run now. So that glue has now set. Let's get our little jars in. Again, let me know in the comments what you would put in these, whether it's sweet sherbets or just for storing all of your stones. and your gems. My daughter loves our little local shop that sells those. It's like a little apothecary style place. She absolutely loves it. Okay, so those are all of my jars in place, and there's even room at the bottom here for these test tubes at the bottom that you can fill in with bigger sweeties. And I do have a little gap here. All I've got to do is cover that with another piece of patterned paper, and then I am done. So here is my chest style apothecary box. It's even got those glue gun strings, which is actually really good for this project because it is like a Halloween project. There is our chest, and here is our bag. Close that down, and I've decorated this one with the spellbook elements here and added some gemstones. So those are the doctor bag projects. I absolutely love these. I think my daughter's probably gonna steal both of these, which I don't mind. I know she'll use them. She likes to have those things, as I said before, to store stuff in, so she's gonna really like this one. Okay, so everything that I've used today is listed down below. There is a list of everyone that's taking part in this blog hop, and those are already listed down below as well in the order, so just keep jumping and keep going round until you get to the end. And thank you very much for joining me today. Give me a thumbs up if you like this one. Don't forget to join the competition on the CraftStash YouTube channel, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.